All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for clicking on this brief video. It is no secret now that Mortal Kombat, the Legacy Collection, is coming out for the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5. And I almost guarantee it's coming out for the Xbox as well as even the Switch 2. I'm willing to put money on that, but we don't know for sure yet. I just think, you know what, these companies are all about money. And when it comes to money, there's a lot to be made, especially with this collection. So I don't see why it wouldn't be on Xbox or the Switch as well. As for cross-platform play, that would be another fantastic feature if this is included as well. Hopefully it is, and I am looking forward to this very, very much. So what do we know about this so far? That's what this video is. It's not a reaction video of any sorts. I'm not going to stare at the screen and go, this is awesome, because I'm not a fan of those videos, but if that's your thing, hey, I respect it for sure. What I am going to do is talk about what we know about this collection already, and I'm going to give my opinions and thoughts and speculations on what will be included in this fantastic Mortal Kombat collection. So, what do we know so far? We know that Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, Ultimate MK3, and MK4 are going to be on this. So what versions are included in this? Let's talk about Mortal Kombat 1 first off. The arcade, the Super Nintendo, the Genesis, the Game Boy, and the Game Gear versions of MK1 are going to be out. And that's awesome. I can't wait to play each one of these again on the next-gen consoles. Now, I've been playing these games for the last 2 years on the channel, revisiting original hardware and such, and playing these games. So anybody who watches the channel knows that I love these old school games, and I love playing all of them. So it'll be it won't be any big problem jumping back into these and playing them again. I've already been refreshed basically by playing these over the last couple of years, so this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to doing all this, playing all of it online. The Game Boy version of Mortal Kombat 1 was the first at-home experience I had playing Mortal Kombat, so I'm not picky. I'm not picky. I enjoyed this one a lot when it came out. Obviously, over the years, it hasn't held up well. But if this is online too, so I'm curious about that. I think everything is going to be online, but it'll be interesting to play something like Mortal Kombat 1 for Game Boy online. So we know that these 5 versions are going to be available. Mortal Kombat 2, the arcade, SNES, Genesis, Game Boy, Game Gear, and 32X versions are going to be available on this collection. The 32X and the Super Nintendo seem to be the most favored versions of this. Once again, I can't wait to play Mortal Kombat 2, the Game Boy version, against people online, if that is so available, because the Game Boy version was incredible. I don't know how many of you actually played it back in the day or recently, but this was one of the best handheld versions of Mortal Kombat 2, and so I am excited about that. Vanilla Mortal Kombat 3, which, some people favor this one over Ultimate, myself included when it comes to single player. This is going to be available on the collection. Arcade, SNES, and Genesis confirmed already, and that's a cool thing. The Super Nintendo and the Genesis versions of Mortal Kombat 3 Vanilla were incredible. They were done really well. They were pretty much equal when it came to comparisons. The Genesis sound was a little more grainy and whatnot, but that's going to be cool to revisit these. Now, Mortal Kombat 4, the arcade version, this is confirmed, and this is awesome. This is something that a lot of people in the Mortal Kombat community, old school gamers like myself, are looking forward to. Now, I've played it on the PlayStation 1 and the Nintendo 64 many times over the last couple of years, and that's cool. But this is an actual arcade port, which I didn't get to play a lot of back in the day, but this is going to be the arcade accurate version, and it's going to be online, and that is exciting, getting back into this. Now, a lot of people don't like this version. They don't like MK4 that fell off, but trust me, if you return to this and you play it for 10-15 minutes, and with the speed, and it is fun, you will get back into it. Trust me, you will. If you liked it back in the day, you will like it again when you play it again, and I am really psyched, stoked about this version, and I can't wait to play this one. So that's all they announced for the MK4. It was also on the Game Boy Color. It was also on the Dreamcast, and then, like I said, PlayStation 1 and N64. So we don't know if those versions are going to be included, any of them. If they are, again, like, the more content, the better. They just throw everything on. That would be awesome. The Game Boy Color version of MK4 is actually very unique, and you know, I'm sure a lot of you would enjoy visiting these versions of Mortal Kombat 4 as well. So again, that's what people have been commenting about the Dreamcast. They want Mortal Kombat Gold on this collection. Will it be included? We don't know yet. We don't know. They haven't announced everything. They are keeping some secrets and holding on to some information about this package and this collection, and that is one of the things that they're holding from us right now. Ultimate MK3, they've only announced the arcade and SNES versions on this. That's interesting. I'm wondering if they'll throw the Genesis version on. I don't see why they wouldn't. However, it was very close to the Super Nintendo version, which might be why they're just like, okay, we're only going to do the one version. But again, that came out, Ultimate MK3 came out on the Saturn as well, and that was a very good version. It was also on the PlayStation 2 as a bonus with the Mortal Kombat Armageddon premium pack, so we don't know. I don't think they'll have the PlayStation 2 version on there per se, but you never know. Anything is possible. MK Advance, the Game Boy Advance version of Mortal Kombat Ultimate MK3, basically. So MK Advance was terrible. It got a 0 out of 10 from GamePro, I believe, when it came out, and it is hands down the worst version of a Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 style game. So they're releasing it on this. It's already been announced. So I am curious if they threw it in the mix just to show people that haven't played it just how bad it was in terms of like it taking up memory and such. The amount of storage and such on the new next-gen systems, I mean, they can fit everything on here easily without much worry about, you know, if they have enough storage and such. So Mortal Kombat Advance, I'm curious with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collection. I mentioned this yesterday in my live stream. The Nintendo version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on that, with the Nintendo, there used to be screen flickering, and so characters, if there's too much going on the screen, then the characters would kind of flicker and such. And they removed that for the collection, the TMNT collection, which makes me wonder if they're going to release the original Mortal Kombat Advance and also an updated, just fixed version of this game. Which again would be cool. If they don't, it's not a big deal because there's so much content on this collection that I don't think it really matters, to be honest. But that's what I wonder about MK Advanced. So that's been confirmed also. Deadly Alliance and Mortal Kombat Tournament Edition for the Game Boy Advance is also confirmed. A lot of comments were saying that we want Deadly Alliance with the original PS2 version. So here's what I'm thinking in regards to this. I'm curious if games like Deadly Alliance, Deception, and Mortal Kombat Armageddon, all released on the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox as well. I'm wondering if those are even going to be included. Perhaps it can be included on a bonus disc. Perhaps it can be another Legacy Collection, maybe a Legacy Collection Part 2, if that comes out in time, because I think this is more focusing on the original arcade versions of Mortal Kombat. And again, there's going to be tons of like interviews and behind the scenes content on this. I'm fairly sure of that, as well as, you know, artwork and just so much content packed into this, which makes me think that Deadly Alliance and again Deception and such, the PlayStation 2 versions and Xbox 360 versions will perhaps be on a different collection altogether. Now, obviously, Mortal Kombat Trilogy is missing from this. Everybody is talking about the Mortal Kombat Trilogy. They want Mortal Kombat Trilogy on this, and I don't blame them. The thing is Trilogy was released on the Saturn, it was released on the N64, it was released on the PlayStation. Being that this trailer, this preview is PlayStation dominant trailer kind of thing, it makes me wonder if perhaps Trilogy, PlayStation 1, will be an exclusive just for the PlayStation owners. If this does come out on Switch, I wonder if the N64 version of Trilogy will be available just on that as a exclusive for the Switch, perhaps. And then they also had a PC version, the good old games version, I think the MS-DOS version of Trilogy or whatever, which was fantastic too. Maybe they will throw that on this as well. But people are all like, oh, it doesn't have Trilogy. I believe that that is one of the secrets or things that they are holding on to, because Trilogy was basically an arcade. It wasn't in the arcade specifically, but it still played like an arcade game, which makes me also wonder if maybe they made a just a remastered version exclusively for this collection of Trilogy. That could be a possibility too. We don't know for sure, but I cannot see them not adding Trilogy on this. That is an absolute fan favorite, and because of that, that's my opinion about Trilogy in this mix. Like I said, MK4, it's missing the PS1, the N64, and the Dreamcast versions. Again, that's a speculation to be included on this as well. Shaolin Monks would be fantastic on this, because if it's online, then you could play with like a buddy from across the world. Shaolin Monks was a great game for PlayStation 2 and Xbox 360. It was great for 2 players, though. That's one thing. So if they bring this back, and it is in fact included in this, then playing online would be so much fun, because this game is absolutely incredible. It's just very, very hard, which is why I haven't played through it in its entirety on my channel as well. But if they do include Shaolin Monks, that would be fantastic. Mythologies and Special Forces, both PlayStation 1 exclusives. No, I shouldn't say that. It was on the PlayStation 1. Which one? Mythologies was on the PS1, also the Nintendo 64. I don't think they released it on the computer, but again, 2 versions of Sub-Zero Mythologies. I think if they do include this, they could include both. Who knows? But the PlayStation 1 version, in my opinion, was better. It's got the the full motion cutscenes in between, and it was great for fans alike. Mythologies was a very hard game. People have bad memories about it. It's very janky the way it plays, but there's just something appealing about that game. When I returned to it for the channel and did the complete playthrough of it, as much as I hated it, I also loved it, because it brought me back to 97 or whatever it was when it was released. And seeing those full motion cutscenes and such was just, it was a blast to see those again. And so if they do add those on this Legacy Collection, I think that would be a great thing. Now, the thing is I really do think that a lot of these games are going to be on a Part 2 Legacy Collection, perhaps. Because, again, the focal point on this, I think, for old school fans is going to be all the arcade games again, all into one package, available online. And while a lot of this stuff is available on Fightcade, not everybody has a PC to run Fightcade. I was only introduced to Fightcade within the last year or two, and I started playing on there, which is great. There's a great community of gamers on Fightcade. It's all free as long as you got a PC, so anyone can pick it up and play it. But to have this available on next-gen consoles is just going to bring so many more people, so many more fans of the games back into the nostalgic old-school gaming world of Mortal Kombat back in the past, and that is fantastic. It's fantastic for the Mortal Kombat community. It's fantastic for myself, being a huge fan of the old games, and I just think this is incredible. This is what we've been waiting for. So there's all the good old game versions too, the MS-DOS versions, Amiga and such. I don't think they're going to put much of that into this. And again, it's not a big deal. There's so much content on this that I think it's going to be fantastic. And then you have MK versus DC, which again, I don't think they'll include that on this. It might be something in the future that they include, but again, overall, this collection, I'm very much looking forward to it. So these are just my opinions and thoughts and speculations on what I think is going to happen when this is released finally. And again, I believe it's going to be released September, October. That's what I'm thinking personally, because MK2, the movie's coming out at the end of October. And the original Mortal Monday was back in September, back in '93. And that was a fun time to be alive. And I think it was '93. My years could be off there, but it was a long time ago. So ultimately, anyways, that's what this was, just my opinion on the whole situation. Just elaborating a little bit more on my thoughts of this and what has already been confirmed for this collection. Somebody else brought up MK3, Ultimate MK3 for the DS, because that was such a arcade perfect version of Ultimate MK3. They're like, maybe they'll throw that into the mix as well. With the dual screens, I mean, it might be different. I don't know how they would throw that in the mix, but you never know if that's there. That's a cool thing. That's a good thing also. So the bottom line is, I'm very excited. I'm glad they announced this. I think if they do make a Legacy 2 collection, it'll be the 3D era games all the way up to Mortal Kombat 9. I think that's probably where they'll stop it. 9, 10, and 11, and then MK1 I think will just remain as is on their respective platforms right now. I don't know if they'll ever bring those back into the mix for a collection, but anyways, that being said, very exciting time in 2025 here for us old school Mortal Kombat fans. I'm very excited and pleased to be part of this community, and looked at as somebody who is truly passionate about these old games, because I do love playing these. It's so much fun, and I am so glad to relive my youth again once this Legacy collection comes out. So if you clicked on the video and you watched the entirety of it, I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. And that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you in another video very soon. Enjoy the rest of your day, ladies and gentlemen.